Okay. If you're at this point, you're probably watching the replay. If you're listening to these words, you know, first couple of seconds, like I said, I'd steal it from Cargo Sparrow. Yeah, if you're at this point, then basically you're watching the replay, you know, and somebody just came in. But as always, this live stream may or may not be for you. But consider this: innuendos, innuendos, things implied, Um, this is an interesting one. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. For the people on deck already here, the three thumbs up and whatnot. I mean, innuendos. Things that people say. As far as language and stuff like that. Maybe a joke that's told. Maybe it may be overly sexual or disparaging remark and whatnot. Innuendos can be fun at some time, depending on if you have naughty language and things like that that people use and things that people say, things that are suggestive, yeah, I bet you do, Granny Watts. I bet you do. And you just reminded me of something that I needed to do. I needed to reshare the live stream because there's a couple of other people who wanted to know, yeah, well, tasteful, some naughty ones, but not spiteful. Well, that's the thing about it, Granny Monster. It's challenging sometimes, because you could be going in. It's like, where do you have the line? Like where do you stop? Where does the fun, end and the spitefulness begin? When it comes to innuendos, things can cost people jobs, and it can really bring up court cases and stuff like that. So it's kind of touchy. It's kind of touchy, but when done tastefully, as Granny Monster said, it can be a very interesting thing. Innuendos, give you a little flirty and stuff like that. I told you I would be here, and I knew you would be here. Cargo Sparrow, I had my eye on a sparrow, saying, but there you go. I knew this would be an interesting topic of discussion, for you and whatnot, the naughty things, that people say, the interesting stuff that people say, you know what it is. We've been in the chat many times, you say a comment or you do a thing or you tell a joke and, there's a laugh and there's a little giggle, ha, 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 ha. That giggle goes on for 20 minutes and people are like, well, what the heck are they laughing about? What is it? What is this going on? Somebody might have said something a little freak nasty or whatever the case may be, and you don't mean it for it to happen that way, but, it does. Okay, if I ask a guy, is your name Richard? Because, wow, 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 yeah. That would be an example, Granny Monster, of, asking somebody this name and then changing the name, so on and so forth. It's crazy, I mean, but it's like Granny Monster said, as long as it's done tastefully, and you're not trying to, have a disparaging thing, you're not trying to sexually harass anybody or take anybody to a negative place, but it can get a little outrageous sometimes. Me personally, when I'm at work, I kind of like back away from it. Like there's been many times I've told people, I said, I don't want to have the sexual jokes with the females and whatnot because I enjoy, paying my rent every month. And I'm not going to put myself in a situation to get fired because I wanted to tell some sexual jokes or some naughty jokes. Unfortunately, though, innuendos don't stop when it comes to the realm of the nature of sexuality. Sometimes you can have innuendos when it comes to issues of race or inequality or people prejudice against each other. Things implied. Sometimes it's a disparaging remark that's said about somebody to somebody. For the purposes of tearing them down. And those we never liked, but the reality is that they happen. I had to get that water on. So I ask you folks out there, I mean, do you know of any funny situations or things that you could talk about that's not going to get you in trouble, or something that may have come to mind or that was memorable to you? Is there anything out there that you say, wow, you know what, we went a little too far there, but that was fun. I know there's times, when I definitely said things. So, Granny, oh yeah, I asked you something else. You're talking about humidity. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Um, I've heard some ladies talking, and I'll snap my fingers and say kitty litter for 3, please. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is funny. That is funny, Granny Monster. Well, nothing wrong with the kitty litter, but I'm gonna leave it at that. It's like when Lynn Denton came through, and we were talking about the whole camel toe situation. I mean, that was priceless. That was priceless. I mean, me, her. You had to see it, Granny Monster. It was me, her, and Llama Monster, and we were talking about basically camel toes moving over rocky terrain. I think you came through. I don't know if you was here for a few minutes, and things got a little, it got a little crazy. It got a little crazy. It went left. Yeah, yeah. I kind of figured you probably was here. It went somewhere. I think you left soon after, but yeah, it got a little crazy. And I mean, that's just one example of innuendos. And then I even thought about eating oranges, but I didn't want it to get too crazy. So, sometimes you got stuff like that, especially when you're mukbanging on the live stream. Mr. Dutchy Dutch. Thank you, Mr. Dutchy Dutch, for coming through. Appreciate you. Hopefully all is well with you, Like I said, we're just talking about innuendos, I guess, something funny. Sometimes it's something funny, the innuendo. Sometimes it's not funny, depending on who you're talking to. I tell people, if you're going to say things that are suggestive and whatnot, make sure you're dealing with people that, you're comfortable and cool with. Gargling the top of the tiny question. So I was fighting over the ring in my backyard. Wow, that's interesting. That can be construed in many ways, but that's an interesting example of how something can be taken and twisted. Sometimes, people have freaky minds. My mind is pure, so I don't have to worry about those pure things. I just hear things. Um, oh my God, that's funny. And then there's Size Dad. Thank you, Size Dad, for coming through. I appreciate you. Obviously, if you coming in, we're just talking about innuendos, things that are suggestive language. I mean, especially when it comes to, I guess male and female, mixed company, things can get really crazy. Wow, time reveals is here, late night. Oh my God, a tear came to my eye. A tear came to my eye. Thank you, time reveals, for being here. I appreciate you. Awesome, awesome of you. So now I'm gonna have to do another morning live stream or something like that, But thank you, everybody's good. I'm just talking about innuendos. I'm talking about suggestive language and being careful sometimes. Sometimes you may be talking in the midst of somebody that may not be, with it as sorts. You may say some suggestive things. You may say some sexual things, some charged language that may not be, cool with the people that you're around. So anytime you want to tell certain type of jokes, adult jokes or, suggestive, sexual or something of nature, make sure you're around people that, definitely understand and get your sense of humor. Because everybody say the actions have it or not, the eyes have it, big difference. This is true. This is true. This is true. I hit my very, very first 1K the other day. Congratulations to you, Mr. Dutchy Dutch. I'll tell you like I tell anybody else, that hits the 1K. When you hit the 1K, in the words of Taj Time, that's when the real work begins. Definitely when the real work begins. Cargo Sparrow, yes, all the best to you. Yeah, so this is me just making my attempt to talk about something that you folks know about. I wish I had some stories that I could share. I wish I had some stuff that wasn't too revealing and whatnot. You know how you get on these live streams and stuff like that, you're talking and you want to, have like the perfect setup and, oh, okay, I could tell this story and I could tell this joke and I could say that things. I mean, when it comes to innuendos and talk, sometimes the best innuendo to talk, the suggestive language, is stuff that just really comes out of organic talk. And yes, Mr. Dutchy Dutch, congratulations to you. But I tell you, the real work is about to begin as it pertains to having 1,000 subscribers now. Now you will see how hard it is to get 1,000 people to watch one video. It is, unless you really have it down to a science, it can be challenging. Definitely can be challenging, but that's what it is. Time reveals, yes. I tell people, just be careful, man. Just be careful out there when you're talking to different people in conversation. Yeah, no, definitely. We appreciate you being a part of the community, Mr. Dutchy Dutch. Congratulations to you and kudos to you for working, hard to get that 1,000 subscribers because, it's rough out there on these YouTube streets. Definitely rough out there on these YouTube streets when you're trying to, make waves and do what you do and get where you need to go and, make things happen and stuff like that. So it's kind of like that. But back to the conversation at hand. I know there's times I've been in conversations with people and it's been flirtatious. This is what I have to say to folks. If you're in a conversation and things get a little flirty, things get a little sexual, remember, sometimes, it could just be a situation where folks are playing. Doesn't mean they want to sleep with you, doesn't mean they want to take you home. And I'm saying to the guys, even other females that's talking to females and whatnot. Yeah, but see, there's a limit. There's a limit, time reveals. I can nobody, somebody, I can know nobody's, or I can lose somebody's, all three. I don't understand that, Granny Mouse. I got to read that again. There's a time and a place for everything. My streams are not the time or the place, but that does not mean I can't be silly elsewhere. Yeah, Cargo. Yeah, I've seen you be silly. And Cargo is good. She holds her tongue, and I'm not saying that in any innuendo type of way. She holds back. It just make sure I get that all together. And I understand being flirty. Time reveals. You try to be in a humorous way, but for me, I try to expect. I respect. Everybody's listening. I know. Okay, cool. There's nothing wrong with that, Granny Monster. I appreciate you listening from a distance. Tell your roommates I said hello. Tell them, Mel loves them more. Tell the whole state of Texas, Mel got love for them more. That whole side, that whole section, Brooklyn. But yeah. Sometimes it can get a little flirty, and you got to be careful. But I tell people on the flip side, especially for the men, be careful. Just because somebody, is flirty with you or willing to joke with you, doesn't mean that it's okay to take it there and go crazy. Pick a Rick one. Oh my God, it is Pick a Rick one. How are you, my friend? Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. That means I need to go buy your channel. I've been there so long, man. But thank you, Pick a Rick one. Appreciate it. Yeah. We're just talking about innuendos. Just like I said, suggestive language, sexually explicit stuff. Sometimes things that go left field and whatnot. Just know the people that you're around. If you're talking to somebody, if you're having a conversation that goes adult, yes, it's good to see you in the chat as well. Appreciate you, my friend. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. It means a lot. It means more than you know to have each and every one of you here. But especially when I ain't seen you in a while, I appreciate you for coming through. And my fault, and apologies for not being over there. Our folks get busy. 1,000 things going on in one day. But I'm glad that you're here right now. I'm glad that everybody's here right now. Shout out to all the 9 people in the live stream. Those folks lurking. Thank you for the 6 thumbs up. I appreciate you folks back and forth, just talking and whatnot. But like I said, I get where you're coming from, Cargo. I get where you're coming from, Time Reveals. Sometimes things get a little flirty, and then if you happen to look a certain way, you got a little glitter, glamour in your eye. You got those bedroom eyes. Some people say I have the bedroom eyes. Listen to your streams, but I wanted to say hello. Thank you. I appreciate that. Pick a Rick one. Margie, been a while. Thank you for coming through. You know how it is, Time Reveal. Sometimes, you're just a sexual being. Sometimes you're just somebody who just gives off that aura, and you get flirty and whatnot. But I try not to break up happy households. Happy households. Households. I try not to break up any happy households, so I try not to let the talk get too crazy. I let it be what it is. Sometimes it's the soft, silky, smooth voice, or maybe it's just the way I look. I got on blue tonight. I don't want nobody going crazy, but that's just what it is. Just be careful who you're talking to and whatnot. Make sure that if you're going to tell something that may be, construed as sexually explicit or something that's a little adult, make sure that you're cool with the audience. Make sure that you're comfortable with the people that you're around. Being online, offline, yes, Cargo. Those are just jokes, though. Try to be respectful, and that's the biggest thing. Try to be respectful. Try to, always pull back, and especially when you're dealing with new people and whatnot. Not to be flirty, but your voice is soothing. Yeah, this is true. This is true. Time Reveals. This is true. This is why I try not to, speak too much. I try not to speak, too crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to cause any situations. I don't want anybody, husbands or girlfriends or, uncles and aunts or whatever, looking for me to put the hurting on me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking. But that's just what it is. And I think you folks know what it is. So that's just what's happening and whatnot. I don't know if you folks have any stories, have any feelings about innuendos, about suggestive language. Maybe you have some stories, maybe you have some questions, maybe you have some comments, maybe you have some criticisms, maybe, it's a situation where you agree, you don't agree. I don't know. How do you feel about being flirty? How do you feel about, putting it out there? Is there anything that you want to add to the conversation? I mean, what about you, Picker Rick? Hey, size dad. I mean, do you have anything to add to the conversation? Do you have anything else to add to the conversation as well? Time reveals. Maybe there's some thoughts and feelings that you have on, language. Jenny, I know one of the first things I ever commented on. I was ready for days, and I thought it would be the flirt with someone else. Well, Granny, when you did comment on it, there were people that were looking into the chat, and they were just asking me. They was like, "What's a granny monster?" And people still ask me to this day. People still remember your name to this day. I'm talking about people offline, that coworkers that I work with, and they was like, "Oh, do you still talk to Granny Monster?" Oh wow, she's known like that. They remember your name alone, So it's kind of crazy. But I know what you were saying. I remember you said something like I was smooth or I was cool or something like that. And this is true. I didn't take it as flirty because what you were saying was true. You were speaking true facts. So I couldn't stop the truth from being out there. I didn't take it as flirty at all. I kind of cried a tear. I said somebody finally is recognizing me. It just happens to be GM. So I was just like I felt like I won something at that moment. I felt like I got an award. I enjoyed the banter to a degree. It makes the time spent positive. Yes. Yeah, no, the banter is cool. I mean, as long as you can keep it positive, size that. As long as it doesn't have to go into a situation where it gets raunchy. I'm a flirt and a jokester, but it's so heavy, and we both know that about each other. But the key is that we both also know when we stand and when our limits are, and I think that's important. Yes, know your limits. Know your limits, Cargo Sparrow. I mean, if you feel like things is getting sexual to the point where somebody is offering a hotel room and some keys, then I don't know, maybe that's crazy. You're laid back, easy to talk for Netflix and chill type of guy. Well, I mean, that may be the case. That may be the case. But like I said, I mean, I try to reserve the Netflix for when they get to know me. I don't want it to seem like a maneuver or a line or something like that. I was talking to one of my homeboys, and he was getting into some whole thing about that. Like talking to women. But I won't get too deep into the conversation. But like I said, it's an art to it and a science to it. But you don't want to be like a pickup artist and stuff like that. And even when you're just flirting and stuff like that, you want to be respectful. I got a laid back demeanor. I'm not always as laid back as I would like to be, but I don't know. As for the Netflix and chill thing, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. I don't know. Let's get deep into convo. It's late. Oh my God! At times when we feel a bit self-doubt, something cute share between pals can be very uplifting. This is true. This is true. I usually just send them one of my live streams, Granny Monsters. I just say, hey, close your eyes and listen to this. And they're like, oh, Mel, thank you. So, I mean, I can relate, Granny Monster. Sometimes I just send them a picture of myself, nothing sexual, just me staring at the wall or something. I don't know. Started to say quick hello. It's been wow, everyone, and have a good night. Thank you. Margie, I appreciate you for being here. Always a pleasure to see you. Just having a conversation, just a chill, kick back type conversation and whatnot. I'm not trying to go anywhere with this. I'm not trying to get real deep into it. Oh my God, that's funny. Yeah, not time reveal. She got that going on. So, I try not to get too deep into the conversation. Like I said, I don't want people to get lost. I remember one time when I was younger, I went to one of my mother's jobs. I think this was when I was like 16, 17. And I remember a lady just staring into my eyes. She's like, "Oh, you got beautiful eyes. There's just something about your eyes." And then I didn't want to be uptight in the back of my mind. I was like, I know, but I just let it go. The interaction started as a joke and become a book over time. Start as a note, become a book, but never cross the line. Yeah, I agree, size that. You want to never cross the line, but let's define what crossing the line is. I mean, I heard a couple people in the chat say, okay, let's not cross the line. What is your idea of crossing the line when it comes to being flirty or the sexual talk and whatnot? I always get my eyes and my presence is addictive. Yes, yes, yes. Time reveals. You have an addictive presence. I mean, your husband's a lucky man. Shout outs to the husband. We always want to respect the husbands and the wives and the family members and all that stuff. We always want to have respect for that. Because people do have support systems. People do have folks out there that are looking out for them. So you don't want to be disrespectful. I mean, it's one thing to tell a joke, but it's another thing to get overly crazy. Like somebody was saying, there's a difference between somebody saying, you look good, and then you looking fine, and you're looking like some wine. You're looking like a snack over there. You don't want to tell nobody else's wife or boyfriend or sister or cousin or whatever. You're over there looking like a midnight, late night snack. I just want to devour you. That's when it's getting a little too crazy. I mean, but what do you think? I mean, when do you think is crossing the line out there? I asked you in the chat. I mean, when do you think situations are getting a little too out of control? Married 25 years is the first thing they must know. Yes, yes, yes. 25 years, man. Congratulations, man. Oof, I'm lucky if I'm in a relationship for 25 minutes, but it's all good. And last time I told that joke, somebody said, "Oh, whoa, they took it as sex," and I wasn't taking it about sex. I'm sure. What do you think about fun size bras? Cause I need a drink of water. I've said that before. No shame in my game. Wow. That's funny. That's funny. I've heard of the fun size. There are a lot of people out there, funny size, fun size, funny style. I don't know. That's crazy. I mean, I don't know. It gets crazy. I mean, let me ask you, ladies out there, though, what do you do when a man is giving you that energy? You start off, you just talking jokes, and then all of a sudden they say, you know what? Let me just whip this out on you, or let me take you to the hotel, or come back to my place. What do you say? What do you do? How do you respond to that for the married folks out there? How do you pull that back? When a man is saying, you know what, I'll break your back. I give you this or that. I give you what your husband ain't never been, can't never do for you. How do you respond? I've heard the fun size thing too. It happens. Yeah, and that does. What's going on? Super Game Boy XXXX. But yeah, ladies, I'm interested to know, what do you do when a man is giving you that energy, giving you that heat? For the married ladies, how do you maneuver out of it? Or for the women that just don't want it at all. Let's say you're not, you have fun flirting, but you don't want to take it to the next level and whatnot. You want to make sure that you're not leading a person on. How do you back out of that once you're heavy into the conversation? You're like two cats in heat. You're looking over at each other and they're looking over at you. Y'all thinking thoughts, y'all saying things, and then you say, oh, this hubby calling, or I got this ring on my finger. Look, it was cool, but I ain't trying to be there with you like that. Okay, real stuff. Sometimes I bounce, and well, at other times theirs was bouncing indeed. Wow, wow. That's I guess that says it all. That says it all. That says it all. I mean, I guess sometimes you bounce. Sometimes you got to be bounced. Oh my God. This Granny. Yeah, ever faithful Granny Monster with the humor. With the levity of it all. Well, hopefully it was a good bounce. It depends on the person. If I know they're joking and not just trying to get a reaction, I laugh. Well, yeah, it's hard to bounce. That's what it is. Well, let's set this scenario up, Cargo. Let's say you're joking with somebody, random YouTuber, somebody not a random YouTuber, somebody right? Let's say some male lookalike, whatever, and they're giving you the energy and things being said, and then all of a sudden they just say, you know what, Cargo, I've been watching you, the way you playing with those Mickey Mouse dolls got me kind of hot. Wanting me to do some things and sprinkle some pixie dust on you, bow, 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 give you a Disney fantasy in real life. How do you respond to that? What do you say? Let's say hubby's in the background and he said, he could get it too. I'm just saying, let me not get crazy. Sadly, been years for either choice, size, and we all know size doesn't matter. Wow. Wow, that was funny. Granny said something funny to me. Yeah. Tyra Fields. Oh my God, they said those words. I would be busted a gut. But let's say they said the word smoother than what I'm saying, because I'm trying to be funny. Let's say somebody just says cargo. You know what? I just, I just have these feelings and these thoughts. You know, the way you playing with Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse got us thinking that maybe me and you could be that mini Mickey Mouse combination, and maybe we could start our own little Disneyland. You know, like I said, how do you respond to that? You know, but let's say they say it in a serious way. You know, like I mean, let's say they're trying to give you that energy. How do you get out of that? You know, and even Tyra Reveals, I ask you, let's say somebody's saying, you know what, Tyra Reveals, I seen your intro in your video, and it's just something about the way you be revealing time that wants me to spend time with you. Like, how do you respond to that? What do you say? You know, how do you come back from that? And that was funny, Granny Monster, on the size. The size doesn't matter, but oh my God, it's just kind of funny. It's kind of funny. I mean, I'm curious to what you ladies say. When you get into pickup lines and stuff like that. Interesting that you use the description that they're giving you energy. Very true. There is a positive energy. Yeah, it's a positive and a negative energy. And then there is Len Denton. I'm curious, Len Denton, how do you deal with innuendos? Let's say some guy is coming up to you, Len, saying, hey, sexy thing, I see you over there driving back and forth through these roads, and you looking like you look, you smelling like you smell, can't you tell, I did give a gal pal a package of Miracle Grow as a gift, and she asked me why, and I said, because I dated your man. You were one. Wow. Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. Nah, it's a hot topic. It's a hot topic. It's kind of funny. It's kind of crazy. It's like, what do you do? And to the ladies that are married out there, how do you deal with that when somebody comes up to your man? You know, uh, yes, we love you all too. I mean, well, we love you all. We all love you too, Linda. Hopefully your birthday was eventful. And actually, your birthday is still going on. So, yes, it would apply. Happy birthday to you, Linda. And even though it's the 16th over here, it's still the 15th over there, I imagine. So you probably turning up, partying like it's 1999, getting crazy, making bad decisions out there. I mean, maybe there's some adult beverages involved. I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell. I won't say. That'll be our little secret. Not seriously though. I don't know. What was I saying? I was just talking trash now. Yeah, I was saying something before this. Granny Monster, you're giving some classic responses. Thunder and lightning with a flash of downpour where I'm at. Hard to hear right now. Oh my God, sorry to hear that. Um, I bring the thunder and lightning in different ways, but we're not gonna talk about that. Like I said, it'd be some raining and downpouring afterward, but we're gonna leave that alone. You know what I'm saying? But I hear you. Be safe out there. I answered your question a few comments ago. Yeah, no, you did. I think you did. Cargo. You said something about, if I'm not mistaken, it depends on the person. If I know they're joking and I just try to get a reaction, I laugh. All right, but see, what about the other side of that? Yeah, I didn't know if anybody would catch that time reveals. I guess what happens if they're not just trying to get a reaction? You know what I mean? I don't know, you're something else. Let me find out. Nah. I'm just joking. These are just jokes. Need to get back to the roommate a bit once more listening. Yeah, no, it's all good, Granny Monster. We'll be here for you. No, I gave another answer too. Okay, Kenneth, the Kentucky fan. You missed it. Okay, I gotta go back up. You gave another answer. Oh man, cargo got me on my toes. I heard the fun size thing. I'm going back up. I'm seeing the answer to these questions. What was the answer? What was the answers? I'm a flirt and a jokester, but it is so my hubby. We both know that each other, but the key is that we both also know where we stand and what our limits are. That is important. That's cool. Kenneth, Kentucky fan. I've seen it. I've read the comments. I've seen it as different ones. So maybe I was just asking the question again and again. Sorry about that. Maybe I was asking it to different people. Too far up. It's all good. Like I said, I got you though. I was paying attention. I was definitely paying attention. I don't know. As far as these things go. Oh yeah, that was the other question I was supposed to ask you, ladies out there who are married. How do you deal with it when somebody else is laughing and being flirty and joking with your husbands? Like that's something I would like to know. I would like to know. You see basically a woman giving your husband all this energy, like basically, they basically want to, they want to just suck them dry. I guess they want to like break them down. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, it's kind of crazy. Granny is the queen of innuendos. I learned from her. Yes, she is. She is the queen of innuendo. She is. But you've had some classic ones. The one about the camel toe, that was over rocky terrain. That was priceless. And then I remember that night with you and Dark Matter in the chat with the oranges. When I first brought the oranges out, oh my God, you and Dark Matter were relentless. Shout out to Dark Matter. Shout out to him. I missed the sexy party. So you want to talk about innuendos? You want to talk about crazy things? Yeah. It's somewhere in there. It's somewhere in there. Time reveals. It's in one of my live stream. One of my live stream, what you call them, with the oranges and whatnot. That's where the legend of the oranges started. It was a funny one. The juicy fruit. That's not the name of it. I forget the name of it. Let him talk. He can handle himself, and I feel comfortable enough to not to be worried. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, Carlos Sparrow. What about you, Tom Reveals? What do you do? Somebody's giving your husband the energy. They basically want to give him that. They want to give him that freakum energy. They want to freak him up and down. They want to give him everything all around, and they laughing and joking and whatnot. I sit back and watch. Oh, okay. Woof, woof. Okay, okay. I didn't expect that answer, but woof. Okay, okay. I hear that. I hear that. That could be many things. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna assume. It's just woof. Yeah. Real rap. Oh, okay. Oh man. Oh man. Wow. Okay, I did not expect that answer. But hey, I mean, everybody has a different approach. Everybody has a different approach. Woof, woof. Time definitely revealed that answer. Not a girl, but good answer at Cargo Sparrow. Yeah, no, that's definitely up and down, all around. Yes, Lynn Denton, up, down, all around. You can do it. Let them talk, handle themselves, feel comfortable enough not to be worried. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. And besides that, since you're married 25 years, what do you do when somebody is joking, or if somebody was a joke with your wife, or there's a little sexual conversation going on, and it looks like it may be a little bit too flirty? How would you respond to that? That's what I would be interested in. Yeah, 25 years. I mean, I would be interested besides that, like how you respond. They giving your wife that special energy. They kind of looking over and saying, like I said, if that was the case, it's only been 4 years for me. Well, 4 years is still good. 4 years is it's the way it is. Keep love alive. Keep things going. You just time will reveal where it's going. And then there's Lulu Love You. Lulu Love You. We were just talking about innuendos and all kind of stuff that people do. I guess when people get a little bit too suggestive with the talk and whatnot. When enough is enough, when too much is too much, how people deal with those particular situations and stuff like that. So definitely that has been, that's interesting. This month I'll be 16 years married for me and 19 together. Would you sit back and watch too, Mel? I don't know. Because time reveals, I don't know if I would just sit back and watch if I see my significant other getting hit on, or there's a little sexual talk and whatnot. I don't know what I would do. It depends. I mean, like if he's really like hitting her with some smooth lines, or he's saying some stuff that I would say, I would let it go on. I would let it go on until it came to a point where I felt like I would have to intervene. If it's too much of a little giggle or something like that. If I see a shiver and shaking her spine, and I'm like, whoa, I gotta step in. Left hand on my mouth, turn the other way, smile and refrain from laughing out loud. She would kick the guys. Oh my God, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Besides that, but at time reveals, I don't know what I would do if my woman is. I mean, it depends. Like if it's not a serious situation and they're just laughing and joking, then you gotta let it ride. You see what happens. If it gets disrespectful, then I gotta come through. Come up behind her kid's neck and grab her waist and will walk away. Wow, wow, that's interesting. Not kids. I was about to say kids, kiss, oh, kiss the neck and walk away. Yeah, that's what you got to do. But women are territorial like that. So I mean, there's women that they may be dealing with a man that they don't even care about like that. But then they'll see another woman coming over, and then all of a sudden it's like, how dare you come after my little piece of man? I got this going on, and stand back. You get a little contentious, but it's interesting. It's interesting to see how people deal with, I guess the flirty type of talk and the way that people are with each other and whatnot. I don't flirt as much as I used to. I don't. I used to be really bad. I mean, some of my conversations I couldn't let my mother hear. I couldn't let my grandmama hear. Rest in peace. Maybe my grandfather would be proud, but yeah. So it's kind of crazy. She would do the same. Okay, that's cool. That's cool size that. That's cool size that. But what you're talking about, time reveals, is real. I've seen women, who will be with their man, and they're getting a certain type of energy from another female, and then, they grab him by the waist and kiss him on the back of the neck. We were in a situation like that years ago, husband and I. Oh wow, for real? Wow. Okay. How did you get out of it? How did you get out of it, Lulu? I mean, did you just kiss him on the back of the neck, or did you say, this is mine, and I run this, so it's kind of crazy. I mean, for a man, you got to be careful because you don't want to come off too jealous. Hello to Seth, shout out to him, shout out to the young man out there, and happy birthday to you as well, still lived in, it's all good, nothing wrong with that, I don't know, it just gets interesting, when it comes to, the flirty talk. It's fun. It's cool, but I always try to be respectful to somebody else's, relationship or situation, because I try to put myself in their shoes. I stay real sophisticated at all times. I'm not letting it get to me. Yeah, nothing wrong with that, time reveals. There's nothing wrong with being sophisticated and not letting it get to you. Also, too, I'm saying, you don't want to get, you don't want to sow too many shines that it's getting to you. Sometimes the jealous rage can come out and whatnot. And not to say that jealousy is a bad thing. To be jealous that somebody's talking to your significant other is actually a good thing at times. It shows that you care. But then, when people get into fights and they cursing matches and screaming and stuff like that, that's when it can get a little out of hand, because you like, if I'm going home with you, if I'm giving you the thunder and the lightning, the bang, 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 I'm giving you all that, the lights flickering and stuff like that, then it shouldn't be a problem. But it happens. We had a good time, and to bounce, have a good and all. This was fun. Yeah, no problem, Granny Monster. Appreciate it. Remember that the size don't matter. Yeah, bang, bang, bang. All that stuff. If I'm coming home with you, if I'm paying the rent or half the rent, or if I'm taking care of the kids, I got the ring on the finger, and all good, then shouldn't be a problem. But thank you, Granny Monster. Appreciate you. Salutes to your ever faithful Granny Monster. Encourage you to check her out. She does her thing. Size do matter. Sorry. Wow. She threw the big one out there. She said the size does matter. Wow. Man. That's rough. Good chat this afternoon. I was listening while I was painting. Couldn't comment. No, it's all good. Hi, Desert Pioneer. This is a different conversation. So, not a pun. No, she said that wasn't a pun. That wasn't a joke. Well, my response to that, comment is that they say, allegedly, that it's not about the size, but it's about the motion in the ocean. Without the lotion, you can make some potion. But anyway, I digress from that situation. I can't say whether or not I'm not those other people. So like I said, you have to know what you're doing with the equipment that you have, and size that. Sometimes it gets there. You should have been here a couple of live streams ago. I try to keep it sophisticated, not too raunchy, but sometimes things are not innuendos, as Time Reveals has just pointed out. Sometimes things are just clearly said. She spoke plain. There's no ways to go around that. There's no way to interpret that but to say, you know, that situation matters. I mean, you just got to be with the right one. If you ain't up to snuff, if you ain't, big enough, I guess, you gotta find you somebody that 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 is suitable for. Like I said, there's somebody for everybody, and everybody for somebody. Woo. Yeah, Tyra reveals. That's wild, but that says it. That says it right there, man. That says it right there. Woo. Oh my God. That's one way to end a conversation. You could definitely end a conversation. So I feel the positivity. Do you? Yes, I do. That, but I kind of knew that the conversation was gonna go in this way. Look what I'm talking about. I do feel the positivity. I do. It's positivity. The second hello, I think, was Seth. Okay, cool. Hopefully, Seth just knows that I'm having a good old family conversation. This is a family channel. This is the time to remind everybody this is a family channel. Hit the thumbs up. But nah, but shout out to Seth. Shout out to Seth. Like I said, this conversation may not be suitable for children under the age of 13. Viewer discretion advised. But yeah, I had time to practice that. Wow, yeah. It's a good thing I'm not getting all extra raunchy on here and crazy or whatever the case may be. I do have adult conversations, about adult things. With anything, it's just important to try to be respectful, Caesar. There you go. I gotta stay up late a lot more. Yeah, you're home from work. So you met me on the live stream when you started work. Now you're home from work. Since you got questions, Caesars, how do you feel about innuendos and I guess talk that could get overly sexual? Do you believe that there are boundaries? How do you feel about flirting with somebody else's significant other? As you do, Ty. Yeah, it's crazy time. We have conversation. We've been having conversations like this lately. I try not to be too long. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one alone. What's going on, Cargo? Sparrow, you changed your name. Didn't recognize you. Yeah, that is her. That's 619 there. That's 619. She's doing it, She's incognito right now, or herself. I don't know. That was funny when you said, Cargo, you had to show your picture because people thought you were a dude, not my fault. No, Lynn, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Listen, it's all good. It's all good, Lynn. It's all good. This is a good old wholesome live stream going on right now, So, this is just what's happening right now, yeah. But Cargo, I remember you said you had to change it because people thought you were a guy because you had a cargo. But I thought that was clever. You had a box there. But maybe some people felt some other way. They thought you probably was big strapping guy moving boxes. I don't know. Maybe they thought you were a shipping company. I don't know. But it's all good. It's true. Everywhere I was going, people were saying the guy guy's cargo. Oh my God. Oh man, that's funny. So did you delete late night? Do I delete late night chats? No, I don't. Why am I gonna delete my chat? I'm not deleting my chats. Star reveals, man. Listen, if YouTube has something to say, then they got something to say. This is the late shift. Oh, I forgot to tell people what I'm doing now. This is the late shift with Mel. I don't delete my late night chats unless you see some naked women in the background and some liquor just being slashed and passed over. Unless things get really outrageous in the chat, I don't have a need to delete these live streams. I'm not on here cursing. I'm not on here saying nothing crazy. I mean, YouTube may feel some type of way, but that's just what it is. I had to say, but I'm gonna say, yeah, I had a lot to say, but I'm not saying anything else. Yeah, I imagine. So I was trying to get into my hotel room just now. Wow. Yeah, watch out. We might have to come out there and put the work in on somebody of a certain urge. I mean, since we are on the subject, since one does having a box make you a guy. Wow. That was wow. Woof. Whoa. I had to take a step back. Wow. Well, nowadays anything is possible, Cargo. That's all I'm gonna say. Since we did talk about labels and how you self-identify, I have my knife with me. Left my gun at home though. I won't let it have next time. Oh man, be safe out there, Lynn. Be safe out there. Definitely. We hope nothing happens. But if you gotta have that knife on standby, you gotta cut them up. Tell them Mel. Doesn't want to have any problems. Don't need no people getting hurt out there. But seriously though, hopefully everything is good out there. Ain't nobody shaking the doorknob trying to get in there and do nothing funny. If you gotta call somebody, if you gotta call your local authorities, then sheriff or something like that, don't hesitate. Definitely don't hesitate when it comes to that. Definitely. I hope everything is good with you out there. What's my opinion on what, Caesar? What is my opinion on what? You talking about what I'm talking about now or something else? About innuendos, because I did talk about innuendos. I did speak on, the sexual talk, the nature of it and whatnot. It's tempting. I have some people that I talk to, sometimes females here and there, they may be married or something like that. I have to, keep it moving. They left it alone, probably wrong room. Hopefully it's just wrong room, then, because we don't want that to happen. The comments above. Okay, I seen you said something about the urge of a sudden urge. Okay, I don't know what about the sudden urge. I don't know what urge you're talking about, but you're home from work of a certain urge. Um, you got to put more context to that, Caesar. Comments above. You got to put more context to that. I'm lost. It is what it is. But I know this conversation. Okay, there's other people doing other things. Nah, sorry about that. I'm reading so many different other comments coming across other places. But yeah, turn on live chat. I thought live chat was on. Live chat is on. What are you talking about? Turn on live chat. The live chat is on. Mel, turn on live chat. The live chat is on. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm chatting live. You know, everything is live. Everything is live. Everything is coming as it is. I don't know what you're talking about, Caesar. I'm sorry, but I'm here now. And like I said, you could ask the question again, put it in context. I'll definitely answer it now because I didn't understand the context of the conversation of the comments that you were putting, in order. I just seen that you said you're home from work and click live chat arrow. Well, now there's no live chat arrow to click. I'm here now. I mean, the live chat arrow is I'm actually I saw it. Live chat arrow. It may have not come up. It really may have not come up, Caesar. I'm serious. I'm serious. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see the comment that you asking me. I seen other urge. You might have not typed. Nah. I mean, I would like to hear. It says top chat about this room, and click it and go to live chat. I'm seeing everything that you're saying, Lulu. I'm seeing every comment, everything that's coming across. Then you go, Lynn. Lynn retyped it. Okay, let me see what Lynn was saying. He asked basically, a man whacks off in public restroom. Is he a predator or just whack? See, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Sorry about that. When you put your comment in there, Caesar, it just says of the urge. You didn't type the whole comment, so I'm sorry about that, sir. But he basically asked a man whacks off in public restroom. Is he a predator or just whacking it? I mean, it depends on it depends on the context. It depends on the context of that situation. I mean, I don't encourage anybody to do that in public, but if the comment was held for review, okay, that's probably what it was. That's probably what it was. The comment was held for review. So since the comment was held for review, that's why it didn't show up. Okay, yeah, that's stuff that I had to do just because. But nah, I can answer that question. I don't mind answering that question. It's really a situation where if you're in the public bathroom, I think you're somebody who may not be a predator, but you may be a pervert. You may be a pervert, somebody who needs to control that particular type of situation because let's say you're in a bathroom and you're doing something like that and then somebody comes in with their kid and somebody hears noises or sees some things. You don't want to put yourself in a compromising situation. It's kind of funny not kind of funny, but it's kind of crazy you bring up that question because you know yeah, what the hell? He was public. Simply Deep was talking about something like that. Things should be done at home, not in public. Just my opinion. Well, I agree with that too, Linda, and it definitely should be some things done at home. Especially since you're out in public and people's families use these restrooms and stuff like that. I don't think it automatically makes you a predator, but it does mean that you may be a pervert. So you don't have to be predatory to have that urge. You might need to seek professional help if you're out in public, and that's something that you have to stop in the restroom to do. And not to knock anybody, it just means you may have some self-control issues as it pertains to that. So like I said, I'm not trying to judge anybody or beat anybody down, but then you do have things where you put yourself in a situation to where it could be considered public, indecent exposure in public. I wouldn't want my son to walk into a restroom and see it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking about, Lynn. You don't want somebody's child to walk into a restroom, especially if it's a unisex restroom, or it's a public situation. That's something that a parent shouldn't have to explain to their child why this person is doing this, at least not in the context where it was thrust upon them. So that's something that I wouldn't encourage people to do. So they're trying to make the guy register as a sex offender. Is that the right thing to do in this case? No, it's not. It's not the right thing to do in this case to make the guy register as a sex offender, especially if he was in the restroom and there was no kids there and there's no history of the person doing anything to anybody. I don't believe that the person should have to register as a sex offender, especially if there was no kids involved, especially if it was a situation where you just had these urges. But on the flip side, if you had to play the devil's advocate or to play the objective part of it, you would have to really look at it where you don't know. Maybe this is a sign that this person is a predator. So it's hard to prove that this person isn't a predator. That's why something like that you definitely don't want to do in a public space, because, especially when people are around, how do you know that this person isn't particularly a predator? How do you know? It's hard to prove. There's a reasonable doubt. You have to be able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that this person, was doing this act and it was just purely motivated by the fact that they maybe were more of a pervert than anything, so, or more just can't control themselves. And that brings up another issue. So, maybe public indecency. However, yeah, it's spelled. Yeah, no, public indecency I could see. But registering as a sex offender when there was nobody around, or, nobody's child, anything got hurt, or nobody was sexually assaulted, I think that's a little bit excessive. But then, depending on the state that it was in and the laws and stuff like that, it can get crazy like that, but people do, tend to, interpret the law their type of way, different type of ways. And it depends on the content, the character of the person. Like I said, it depends on whether or not the person has any criminal history, or, if there's any situation like this. But I'll tell you this much, as it pertains to that particular situation. If there is no criminal history, if there is no record of it, there is now. So now this person has screwed himself over regardless. But how do you feel about, man, if it's outside at night, drinking and getting caught by police officers and having to register? Wow, I didn't know they did that because of that. I think that's excessive. If you're taking a urine outside in the street and you just didn't reach your bathroom, you shouldn't have to be registered as a sex offender. But I did see something the other night where a man was urinating in the street and there was a woman walking down, and it was an uncomfortable situation. Yeah, wow, that's crazy. I seen a man doing that in the street the other night, and it was at night, and a woman was walking down, and I felt bad for the woman because the man, was urinating in the street, and the woman is walking, and I just stopped for a minute to make sure everything was okay, because you never know. You really never know. As another man watching this, I'm looking and saying, hopefully, he doesn't, try anything. I don't know. Hopefully his situation is together. But you never really know. It's a touchy situation because, that's how a lot of these situations can happen. And the woman stopped and waited for him and whatnot, and I waited and make sure nothing was happening. And the guy went about his way. But situations don't always end that way, And but I say if it's an innocent situation, no, you don't just, make somebody register as a sex offender. Is if it's behind the dumpster, though. Well, if it's behind a dumpster, they shouldn't have done that. You know, if it's behind a dumpster, they shouldn't have just wrapped them up and did that. Now, you know, if I was that chick, I would have shake it more than twice. Oh wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Well, in that situation, Lynn, you don't want to yell anything. I mean, you want to kind of, go the other way. I think she should have probably crossed the street in that situation. Me personally, I believe that a man shouldn't do that in the street. I mean, expose yourself like that. But some people were trained and taught that that's the way to be. You see kids and grown men doing it in the street. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But that's true. If you're out in the street shaking it more than twice, then chances are you're playing with it. So don't play with it in the street. Unless you're really gonna be, a sexual, registered sex offender. And that's another issue all in itself. But like I said, it's about understanding, certain decency, or just trying to learn. Hey, look, there's a time and a place for everything. Try to find your, nearest local, public bathroom. And conversely, I've seen, or on the opposite side, I've seen, women squat down in the streets. I think that's even worse. I've seen women pull their pants down and squat in the street. That's dangerous, more dangerous than a man whipping it out and just, watering the plants. Because somebody run up behind her, that could be a bad situation. So I just try to tell people, encourage them to, find a public restroom, encourage them to be mindful of your surroundings and what you're doing, where you're going, and whatnot. It's kind of crazy like that. A lot going on in these streets, a lot going on in this world. So it's rough. As it pertains to that, Caesar. Yeah, you just got to be careful. Definitely got to be careful. Mel, did I ever tell you about me protecting my best friend in Seattle? I can't remember. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember that story. I don't know if you want to tell it here, but you can if you want to. I mean, if it's not too much, you can leave certain personal things out if you have to or whatever. But I don't remember. I don't remember you telling me about that. But I believe that you can. You're not a pushover, so that's what it is. You go into mama bear mode, and like I said, any volunteers? I don't know what you mean. Any volunteers? Next question, please. Why do I have to ask good questions? No, people have asked good questions. People have asked good questions, Caesar. They have. You came in towards the end. Remember now, this is almost an hour live stream. We were already talking, and Granny Monster said some things, and Lynn said some things, and Cargo time reveals if she's still here. What? Somebody just said, oh my God, I need a woman cage. Wow. Okay. Wow. Sorry. I don't know if I was supposed to read that out loud, but forgive me. I just see something pop up across my screen. I'm not gonna get into that. Peace. I had to say where it came from, so we gotta leave that alone. Yeah. But people have been asking questions. Well, do you like faux? I don't know what faux means. I'm here. I fell asleep a little bit. My phone keeps falling on my nose. Oh man, I appreciate you for being here, but time reveals, get some sleep. I know you gotta be up. I know you got things to do. I appreciate you for coming through. Definitely. I appreciate the watch time. I appreciate the support. Definitely. I'll come by and support you. The faux what? I don't know. That's a bowl of something. Time is okay. Tomorrow. Yeah, nah, it's all good. Yeah, come back tomorrow. I'll be around. I'll even do an earlier live stream. Yeah, go see Tom. Yeah, definitely. Got love for you. It's all good. I'm about to get out of here in a minute or so too, because I gotta get some rest on and maybe watch some news and see what's going on. I don't know what that is that you were typing in there, Caesar, but faux. Anybody else here like pho? Pho is Vietnamese soup. Oh, okay. Never had it before. No, never had it before. You're so cultured, Glenn. You're so cultured. Teaching me all these things, so cultured. I never had it before, so I wouldn't know. That may say that you're Vietnamese. I don't know. I don't know if you want us to know your true identity, Caesar, but it's all good. We're finding out more about you, the man behind the troll account, but it's all good. You know, um, as for this conversation, yeah, I probably should try it. I try it with the noodles. Yup, it's yum. Okay, okay. I'm the only one out the loop. Everybody knows about pho. I just know about oodles and noodles. I know lots of food. That's why I need to lose. Oh my God, Mel, you on any of social media? Um, yeah, I am. I just got off of Twitter. I'm on Tumblr. I'm on Google Plus, which Google Plus is the way to do it. I'm thinking about going on Facebook and Instagram. I'll let you know if I go anywhere like that's like really popping. If it gets lit, I'll let you know. I'll definitely let you know. It's amazing. I tried it before. I thought it was gross. Now I love it. It happens that way. It happens that way. Time reveals though. When I get on some other social media networks, I'll let you know. Any other social media networks, some more people don't really use. People that are really on Tumblr like that. They're not on Google Plus like that. I'm on Reddit even too, but my Reddit is far from lit. My Reddit is not even, it's not popping in no stretch form fashion. Yeah, IG is popping. I'll go on there. Eventually. I'm being stubborn. Slow to adapt to that whole situation and whatnot. But on that note, I am going to respect people's time. I thank you for coming through. Appreciate the conversation. As always, spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Cut out the light for effect. It's all good. Uh, I just made an Instagram recently, and my mom made it a habit of having me with social media with my kids. That's cool. That's cool. Cargo. Size that. Next time. Peace.